Imagine you're standing beside a river nearly 2 million years ago. After years of trial and error, you've finally learned which berries won't poison you. You know where fresh water hides during the dry season. You know how to shape a sharp stone that can cut through animal skin. You know how to avoid the predators that hunt after sunset. Tomorrow, you're dead, and everything you've learned dies with you. No books, no writing, no schools, no internet. For almost all of human history, knowledge survived only if one person could place it inside another person's mind before time ran out. Education wasn't invented to make people smarter. It was invented to keep humanity alive. We often imagine schools as one of civilization's greatest inventions. But the truth is much stranger. Long before classrooms existed, our ancestors had already built the foundations of education. Their lessons weren't about mathematics or history. They were about staying alive one more day. And every lesson came at a cost. Unlike most animals, humans don't simply learn by watching. A young chimpanzee may watch an older chimp crack nuts with a stone until it eventually copies the movement. The adult loses almost nothing. Humans changed the rules. Teaching meant stopping your own work. Instead of hunting, gathering food, or protecting yourself, you spent valuable time helping someone else learn. Every minute spent teaching was a minute you weren't surviving yourself. Yet our ancestors kept doing it, because they understood something that would shape our entire future. A tribe with 2 skilled hunters survives. A tribe where everyone knows how to hunt survives much longer. Nearly 2 million years ago, at Olduvai Gorge in Tanzania, early humans were already making stone tools. At first glance, they looked simple, but creating one required incredible precision. One strike at the wrong angle could destroy hours of work. Archaeologists studying these ancient tool-making sites noticed something remarkable. The evidence suggests experienced toolmakers weren't simply demonstrating the technique. They were guiding beginners by hand, adjusting their grip, correcting the angle, showing exactly where to strike. The world's first classroom wasn't a building. It was one experienced hand guiding another. Then something even more unusual happened. Humans stayed children far longer than almost every other animal. While many animals become independent within months, human children spend years learning before they can survive alone. Evolution normally removes weaknesses. So why did it keep ours? Because childhood had become the safest classroom on Earth. Think about the games children naturally play: running, chasing, hiding, throwing stones, building tiny shelters. These weren't meaningless games. They were practice. Tag taught speed and teamwork. Hide and seek trained awareness and predator avoidance. Throwing rocks improved hunting accuracy. Building small shelters prepared children to build real ones later. Play wasn't a distraction from learning. It was learning itself. As thousands of generations passed, knowledge became something even more powerful. Around 300,000 years ago, humans across different regions were making remarkably similar wooden hunting spears. The balance was almost identical. The weight distribution barely changed. The design remained consistent across generations. That meant something incredible. The inventor was long gone, but the idea remained alive. For the first time, knowledge could outlive the person who created it. Humanity had invented recipes for survival. Then education evolved again. Around 75,000 years ago, people at Blombos Cave in South Africa began carving patterns into pieces of ochre. They wore shell beads. They decorated their bodies with pigments. These objects didn't help kill animals. They didn't make better weapons. So why spend precious time creating them? Because they taught something new. Identity. A stranger wearing the same symbols might belong to your people. Instead of becoming an enemy, they could become an ally. Education had expanded beyond survival. Now it taught trust. It taught belonging. It taught culture. And perhaps the most powerful classroom of all wasn't outside. It was deep underground. Thousands of years later, adults carried children deep into dark caves lit only by flickering firelight. The walls were covered with drawings and mysterious markings. Some children left tiny fingerprints and lines pressed into the soft clay. Imagine being 6 years old, walking into complete darkness, hearing only echoes, watching fire dance across ancient cave walls. that experience would stay with you forever. Modern psychology tells us emotional experiences create stronger memories. Our ancestors may have discovered that long before science ever explained it. The greatest lessons weren't simply spoken. They were felt. Finally came one of humanity's greatest educational breakthroughs. Stories, songs, rhythms. Before maps existed, landscapes could be remembered through music. Before writing existed, dangerous plants could be remembered through stories. Before books existed, entire generations memorized survival itself. Many indigenous cultures carried thousands of years of knowledge without writing a single word. If someone forgot part of the story, the rhythm broke, the song sounded wrong, the entire group noticed. The story corrected itself. Knowledge became self-protecting. Today, we think education begins when a child walks into a classroom. But education is far older than schools. The first teacher carried no textbook. The first student had no notebook. Their classroom was a campfire. Their lessons were written in stone tools, hunting games, songs, symbols, and stories. Every generation passed the flame of knowledge to the next. Because our ancestors understood one simple truth. Food keeps you alive today. Knowledge keeps your people alive forever. Every time someone teaches another person a skill, explains an idea, shares a story, or answers a child's question, they're continuing a tradition that began nearly 2 million years ago. The oldest classroom never disappeared. It simply changed its shape.